Alright, what is up guys, and welcome to another Piggy video. So the hidden ending for Piggy has been discovered for about a week now, more or less a week. And once you solve all the puzzles, you basically have a final boss fight with Tio. And honestly, it's probably one of the hardest Piggy challenges to do. Tio is just super fast, and in many cases, it's pretty much impossible to outrun him. Honestly, I'm pretty confident he's gonna get nerfed if he hasn't gotten nerfed already. But a lot of people have been complaining about how difficult it is to defeat him, especially when doing it solo, because like this guy just has wheels, dude. He is incredibly quick. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to defeat Tio on your own if you're doing it solo. Obviously, it's a lot easier with friends, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory, just get someone to distract Tio. But if you're like me and you just like to play the Piggy maps by yourself for the very first time, this is definitely a really difficult challenge. This took me many hours to complete. Now, I believe Ernie C3 was the first person to do this solo. He just somehow manages to outrun and juke Tio. I could not outrun this guy for the life of me. Like, he would always catch me. I would have so much trouble juking him out. I still don't know how he does that. So it wasn't until I completely started changing my strategy that I was finally able to defeat this challenge. So I decided, you know, why not share that strategy with you guys? Because again, some people can just brute force it and run from him. I could never do that. I had to completely change my strategy. So I've got a strategy that works pretty consistently. This challenge really isn't that bad when you have the proper strategy. It is really just different from other Piggy solo challenges. Like typically when you play in a map solo, you can just run from Piggy and be fine. But with this final sequence, you just have to be really smart about it. This video is not really going to go over the puzzle aspects of how to get the hidden ending. I feel like that's super redundant. I feel like every YouTuber has made a video on that. So if you need a guide on how to get to this sequence, there's literally plenty of YouTube videos. Just look it up. For this video, I just want to focus on how to actually beat this map and how to basically defeat a bot that is faster than you. So I'm going to do exactly what Ernie did for his video. I'm just going to show you guys what a successful run looks like, and then after that I'll go ahead and break it down and tell you guys my strategy and what I did. But if you haven't yet, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos in the future. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and play you guys the winning run, and I'll just show you what it looks like. Okay, so that was the video. So now I'll go ahead and break everything down and basically tell you guys what I did. So obviously, you know, first you have a puzzle sequence, pretty self-explanatory. Again, a bunch of YouTubers have made videos on these, really not too much to say about it. Obviously for this part you put the code, and then for the boat section you just basically make a square. I had a really easy code here, but you just go in a square. So you start with bottom left, and then top left, top right, bottom right. This actually bugged out for me the first time, so I got really confused. And then, you know, here you have the number puzzle. It actually lagged for me, so I messed it up for a split moment. You can see that lag there. That kind of really screwed me up, but, you know, pretty self-explanatory stuff. So another thing to mention is make sure you turn down your graphics. That is pretty important. You've probably heard that from quite a few other YouTubers, but generally, if you have super low graphics, there's going to be less darkness. So there's two ways to lower your graphics. Obviously, you can just go to the Roblox settings and lower it there. But also remember, for book 2, you can go to the actual settings of book 2 and play on low graphics mode. There's like 2 settings. I always play on low graphics mode when it comes to the settings, and then typically I'll crank up the graphics in the actual Roblox settings. But you can see here, before I enter the maze, I just go ahead and turn down the graphics. That just makes it way easier to see. So this is literally the lowest graphics you can possibly get, because I also just generally play Piggy book 2 on low graphics. So then I go ahead and enter the maze. Alright, and here we are in the hard part. So some general rules. This map is split into 2 sections. First, you have the stealth section where Tio is super slow and just wanders around the map looking for you. So he goes really slowly, so you just want to avoid him. And then the second part is the chase sequence after you give everybody their weapons. Once the music kicks in and the second floor opens, Tio is actually guaranteed to chase you. So there's no way to avoid that. Once the music kicks in, Tio is always chasing you. There's no way to avoid that. So that's basically the chase sequence. And there are 3 items for each sequence. So there are 3 stealth items and 3 chase items. The 3 stealth items are the wooden sword, the pipe sword, and the bat. And then the chase items are the bone, the grass, and the carrot. And as another general rule, it should also be noted that the bottom floor is semi-random. It's not completely random, but essentially how it works is there are 3 preset mazes, and when you enter the maze, it chooses a maze out of randoms. There are 3 possible mazes to get for this map, and then those 3 mazes are going to have certain items spawned in different places. So depending on which maze you get, you're going to have to improvise. You can see here, I got the one maze where I don't immediately have access to the safe place where Z and infected Zizzy are. You can see there they are right there, and then boom, there's a wall right there. But you can also see that there is a door leading to the second floor, so that is kind of convenient. But yeah, this part of the maze is random, so you're gonna have to improvise depending on what you got. But it should also be noted that the top floor is never random. The top floor is always exactly the same, which is really nice. So you'll be able to just go ahead and follow my lead for the top floor because it is always exactly the same. But now we are starting off with the stealth sequence. Now what I like to do in the stealth sequence is I like to basically take advantage of Tio not chasing me. And what I like to do is I like to rearrange the chase items, the bone and the grass. I like to rearrange that so it's a little bit easier. So the first thing I do is I grab the chase item that is the hardest to get. So for this maze, I'm going for the bone because it's actually really difficult to grab the bone while Tio is chasing you. I'm gonna go there right now and you'll see. For this particular maze, we have a super long hallway and the bone is right there. And then after that, it is basically just a dead end with the safe place right here. So obviously in this area of the maze, if Tio is chasing you, you would have to juke him out, and I just have a lot of issues doing that. You have to outrun him and juke him out, and I just really don't want to deal with that. So what I do is I immediately grab the bone. So the next thing I want to do is I want to go to the house. Now, in case you haven't noticed, the house is basically your safe haven because you can go up the stairs, and then if you jump down the ledge, the bot is actually just going to completely turn around, and that gives you plenty of room to run away from Tio. So I'm listening carefully for Tio. I'm avoiding him. Do not get caught in the stealth sequence. Listen very carefully. Do not take any risks. And just take your time. Believe me, 10 minutes is more than enough for this. The chase sequence is only going to take a few minutes at most, so go slowly, take your time. But now we're in the house, so I go ahead and grab the pipe sword. And what that's going to do is that's going to put the bone right there in the house. Let me rewind a bit for you guys. So yeah, so the bone is going to be right here. And I'm actually going to save the bat for last to activate the chase sequence. So right when the chase sequence starts, the bone is going to be right there for me. I'll be able to grab it pretty easily. So now I just go ahead and go up the stairs because, again, this is a really safe area. So actually, if Tio walks into this room, if you're in this area, he won't actually see you as he's walking into this room. And then you could just wait for him to climb up the stairs. He still won't see you. And then you'll be able to just jump off and be totally fine. But he's nowhere near me, so I just go ahead and go to the safe place, you know, just give Z the pipe sword. Pretty easy. So now we're grabbing the wooden sword. Again, just listening for Tio. Be very careful. And another good tip, that was actually a really risky play. I just ran back to the house. I'm kind of surprised Tio did not see me there. But another good tip that I got from Ernie C3 is that if you are not facing Tio, if you're like hugging a wall or something, most of the time, he will not see you. Tio will not see you, which is really nice. This doesn't always work, but sometimes if Tio is going near you or near your area, like let's say back to the safe place maze, if Tio was like coming down the hallway in that room, I could basically just hug one of the walls. Here, let me show you right here. Yeah, so if Tio was going down this hallway, I could basically just hug this wall, basically just kiss the wall, and hopefully Tio will not see you because you're facing the wall. I don't know why this bot works like that. Bots don't typically work like that, but you gotta take every advantage you can get. So again, I'm in the house, and now I'm just gonna go here because I don't know where Tio is, so I just want to be careful, and you know, this is a really safe area. So now I'm listening for Tio. He's actually heading over to the city, which, you know, that's the area I want to go to, but I am going to, you know, at least approach the area a little bit, but I am obviously going to wait for him to leave that area. So I'm listening and I'm watching right here, so you'll see that Tio is just going to come on out of that area, and then there we go. So I'm going to head on over to this area. It's a bit more safe. Again, going really slowly, just taking my time on this, because, you know, if Tio starts chasing you in this sequence, you're just gonna have a way harder time. So now I can safely go to the city, give Pony the sword, bada bing, bada boom. And now we're gonna grab the bat. So this is the final item until the chase sequence starts. And I actually think that Tio gets stuck in this sequence, which is actually pretty rare, actually. It's pretty rare for Tio to get stuck. Most of the bugs have been patched, so you can see he's going down the hallway. And he's actually going to stop right here. So again, going off of Ernie's rule, where if you're not facing him, he won't see you, I actually make a really risky play. I didn't really care that much if Tio started chasing me anyway, because I was about to start that sequence regardless. But what I do is I zoom into first person and I just don't look at him, and miraculously it works. Tio does not start chasing me here, which I was actually kind of surprised about. I didn't really care if he started chasing me anyway, but now I'm going to go ahead and start the chase sequence. Normally I would wait for Tio to kind of go to the other side of the map just to give me some time to get ready, but in this instance I don't think he's gonna move until I start the sequence. So I kind of just get started. So again, the final stealth item you want to give is the bat. That way you're already in the house, you're in the safest area of the map, so you are ready for whenever Tio starts chasing you. And again, we have the bone ready, so we have our first chase item on deck. So I'm going to go ahead and start the sequence. I give George the bat and I immediately jump down and grab the bone. So there we go, we have our first chase item, and now I'm going to go up the stairs and wait for Tio to chase me. You can see he's already there. So again, when I jump down to here, he will actually be forced to turn around in most cases. There are some rare occasions where Tio will actually jump down the ledge and keep chasing you, in which case you want to loop back around. You want to go back up the stairs and then jump down again until he turns around, because you really need that turnaround. That gives you plenty more time. So what I actually do is I position my camera to make sure he actually turns around. You can see my camera's here just so that I know Tio actually turn around, and then I'm safe. Now, again, this part of the map is always the same for every playthrough, so you can kind of just follow my pathing here. So I go up the stairs, and your first left is a dead end, so you don't want to take your first left, but you do want to take this second left. So go ahead and take a left here, and then take another left, and then that's where Doggy is going to be. So you have to memorize this pathing. That's really just the best way to do that. You got to memorize where everything is. So again, I'm going to show you guys one more time. You go up the stairs from the house, make sure it's actually from the house, and then your first left is a dead end. Make your second left, and then, you know, just make another left after that. Just watch out for the traps and the sentinel. Obviously you're dealing with two sentinels, a normal sentinel and a shadow sentinel. So after we give the bone to Doggy, we're gonna want to go ahead and continue down this path. Just go through this hallway, and you'll actually see Zizzy's room as well. So do keep that in mind. We're gonna want to memorize where Zizzy's room is. And the Shadow Sentinel actually spawns near Zizzy's room, so you're probably gonna have to deal with the Shadow Sentinel on your way there. So do look out for that. But anyway, Doggy should stun Tio enough for you to go down these stairs. So just continue down the hallway, you'll find some stairs, and then you're basically back at the spawn of the maze. So you can see here I grab the carrot. I actually don't want to use the carrot until the last. Typically I save the carrot as the last item, so I kind of just grab the carrot without thinking here. I kind of just changed my mind and grab the grass because, again, the carrot, Bunny's in a weird spot in the map. She's actually very close to a dead end. So I just like to use the carrot last. So I go ahead and grab the grass. So you can see I go back to the house because, again, the house is the completely safe area. And I actually wait for Tio to come back. And you can see that it actually takes him a while to get back. So you might wonder why I just don't go up and find Zizzy. The reason for that is I don't know where Tio is. He is really far away, but I feel like if I just jump the gun and go for Zizzy, I feel like he could just cut me off at any time because I have no clue where he is. So I actually wait for Tio to come back. I would rather him be closer in an area that, like, I'm aware where he is. So I'd rather him be a bit closer in that situation. So, you know, again, I just jump off. I make sure that he actually turns around, and he does. And I'm going to go ahead and follow the exact same pathing that I did with Doggy, because again, we passed Zizzy's room. So I'm just going to take the exact same pathing. Watch out for the traps. Do keep that in mind. The traps are really camouflaged with the ground. It is honestly evil, to be completely honest with you. So I avoid the traps. I'm going to give Zizzy the grass. Again, Zizzy's going to stun Tio for a good amount of time. And I actually have to deal with both sentinels here. So I go into first person. I kind of just juke them out. They're really not too hard to deal with. The only time those are really going to kill you is if you're in a trap, and then maybe the Shadow Sentinel will kill you if you're not careful. But I go ahead, I grab the final item, go back to the house one more time. And again, I wait here for Tio because I just feel like that's the safest thing to do. I really don't want to be caught off guard with Tio, even though I'm far away from him now. He could just cut me off at any time, and I really don't want that. So I want to make sure that I know he's here. So I, once again, just sit here, I dance, I wait for Tio to come on down. He'll find his way here eventually. There he is. So again, I jump down, he turns around, and I'm going to go up the stairs one more time. And this time around, we're going to want to take a right. So again, just memorize the routing. We're going to want to take a right, and then Bunny should be right there. Pretty easy to find Bunny, given that you memorize it. And now Bunny's on deck, and you basically just have to hold out. You gotta wait for Bunny to actually hit Tio. I actually kind of make a mistake here at the end and accidentally get trapped. I didn't even see this trap right here. But at this point in the game, it doesn't even matter. You can see that I already defeated Tio. I could have died here if a sentinel was nearby, but luckily the area was clear. The sentinels were on the other side, so I actually got kind of lucky there. But I did manage to defeat Tio with a relatively good strategy. And that's just basically what you gotta do. Again, for the stealth sequence, go slowly. Take advantage of being hidden from Tio and just move some chase items just to make it a bit easier for you. Because if they're hard to grab and you're in a dead end, then you're gonna have a pretty difficult time. And it's really just important to note the weak points of the map. The house is a really safe area to get away from Tio. That's probably the safest area, but like the safe place where Z is and the city, if you're trying to get rid of Tio in those areas, you might end up having a bad time. You might be able to get away in the city with relative ease. I always had trouble escaping Tio in the city. So just note the weak points of the map, know where Tio is likely to kill you, and just take advantage of the stealth section and just make sure you're ready to be chased down. Again, if you're not facing Tio, he might not see you, so take advantage of that. This bot behaves really differently from all the other bots, so really just with the proper strategy, it's really not as bad. But yeah, you know, that's basically going to be it for this video. I hope this helped out some of you guys in defeating Tio solo. Obviously, this is way easier with friends, but I always like to do maps solo first. This took me probably like 7 hours to accomplish, but once I came up with this strategy, I was able to consistently defeat Tio, and that's basically how it's done. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay purple.